What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Okay, guys, we're going back to Sol 1432. This is pretty interesting. Not only the stuff that's there that you can see, but the stuff that's being hidden. Let's have a look. Okay, here's the photo, and you can see it right there, midnightplanets.com. MSL, meaning Mars Science Laboratory. And you can see it right there. It's 1432 NLB, and of course, you look down here, there's the NCAM, or NavCam. Right? And what I like about this photo, guys, is you can see the rover in the photo. So you can get a basic idea just how tall this thing is, because at the top of the mast, when fully extended, it's 7 foot tall. Okay, now you can see the instruments on here. You can see right here on the left-hand side, you get the nuclear power plant. And you can see the high directional antenna right here, which is, I believe, runs on the X-band. As well as you can see some of the suspension parts and stuff like that. Right here, you can see this piece. Goes off to the wheel on each side. And it's on the deck itself. It's bolted to the deck. All right. What I like, again, about it is it's in the photos. It gives you kind of an idea how big these things may be. Believe it or not, if you were standing right here, right on the side of this thing, your head would probably be right here level with this antenna. And you could literally walk over there and see this stuff. If I had to guess, this stuff over here would be about the size of a small compact car or a car. All right. Let me show you this. This is pretty cool because I don't know if you guys have seen this already right here at the top. This is good. It looks like something off a platform. And it looks like it has this teardrop kind of object on top of it. Again, looks like this flat plate or something, or just coming off the edge right out of the side of this mountain, right? When you look at this object right here, okay, almost looks like it has two wheel wells. Now, I know, I didn't say it was a car. I'm just saying, but when you look at it, the first thing you think of is a junkyard. When you see a junkyard stuff, you know, like these cars laying around, no wheels, nothing like that, is completely demolished. This right here. Okay. Now, I believe this stuff is absolutely junkyard of some sort, meaning it's just stuff that's in ruins on Mars. And I'm going to show you this a little bit better, like this object right here, buried in this blur. Funny enough, right? They would never do that. Now, let's get into this in Photoshop. This is what the photo looked like. It's quite small. Get this photo a lot better. So then when we do zoom into it, it doesn't look like a total chaotic photo. It just actually looks pretty decent. And again, we get these objects right here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this much brighter. Turn up the exposure. So we can get a better idea of just what these look like. Now, when you see stuff like this, right here, take a close look at that. Okay? This object down here. Look at the details, not just the shape. Look at the details in it. We've got these objects over here. And the reason why I say objects, at first I was thinking it was one object, but I believe there's more than one. Also got a whole bunch of blurring and stuff going on here. Guys, even if it was, you know, zoomed out, you could see it just looks like so blurred over. It's crazy how they do these photos. Low res is one thing, but when you spot blur, airbrush, and all the tactics that they're using to hide this stuff, let me show you something interesting. We're going to go ahead and go into the enhance yellow plate, right? I'm going to show you something there. When you see stuff like this here, here's a perfect example. Right here in the center, I'm going to put this in the center of the whole screen here. Right here in the very center, come on guys, look at that. You can literally see it's literally blurred out. No information whatsoever in this area right here alone. The back here, look at the fudging going on in this photo. It's just blurred out completely to hide any kind of details or anything large in the photo that they're trying to hide. But you can see something right here on the upper left here. You see my cursor. You'll see this in a minute because I'm going to get back out of this plating. But you see this right here almost looks mechanical in nature, right? Let's bounce over to the right here. Check this out. Come on, guys. Like I said, I can back out of this photo. And look at the blurring in this. It's crazy how much they're taking out of these photos. Look at this. I went up to this area right about here. And you'll see what I mean. It's, wow. You literally see things like half, look at this, like this right here is white, completely taken out. They're literally taking objects right out of this photo. Like this object here, for instance. You may not see it too well, but let's do this. Right here. I'm going to put it smack dab in the middle so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about if you can't see the line. Smack dab in the middle right there. This object is much bigger than that once you burn off some of this blur. And you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Well, like I said, guys, look. You can see some stuff's got some decent quality. I mean, it is low res, don't get me wrong. But you can see some detail here and there, right? All of a sudden, complete mush. Look at it. Look at the difference between low quality to completely redacted information. Big difference, right? All right, let's get back to CMYK, and there you go. All right, what I find unusual is when you see an object that does this here, comes down, has a straight part, you can just see right here, there's a line that does this, up and over, and then down. So on the first impression, when you see the line, you think, looks like the shape of some kind of vehicle we'd see here on Earth. But that's not the case. There's multiple pieces here, guys. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We've got a piece back here. Goes down like this. Comes down. Almost looks like it has this weird bottleneck kind of shape. Goes down like this here. Goes over like this here. Goes around, at least has this round section, and goes back. And I believe it's behind this other mess of junk sitting right here, like this here. I believe it's two individual items, as well as other items sitting here, on the top, or in the middle, right here. These objects right here. Again, we have to look at the shape of these. Now I'm going to go all the way around this piece. Look at the way this thing goes down here, goes up a little bit, goes down, back up, goes over, comes back down. Look at the shape of this piece. This is neat. Goes back out. Looks like it does this here. So it goes up. Almost has these individual holes right here. And then we have this up here. Goes across, goes back down, does this, goes over to here, goes back around. Got that piece there. And guys, just look at the shape and just the stuff that's in here. It's crazy, crazy stuff. Now, let's go ahead and enhance this a little bit. Start bringing this stuff in. Check these items out. This piece right here, right smack dab in the middle of the screen, I told you about, right there. And what you're starting to see is more and more stuff come out of this mountainside. But let's do this. Why don't we go ahead and do the full enhancement, and then you can start to see this a little bit better. Now this part right here in the center, like we just pointed out, right here. Check that out. Suddenly that thing is a lot more sticking out of that than there was. See how like this is decent detail with this? You can see the half of it, but all on the rest of it is completely blurred out. Why would that be? Burn that stuff off. As long as you don't go too crazy with it, you won't burn away the rest of the photo. It's the top layer you want to get rid of. Now, look at all the stuff that's in this. This is awesome. It's like something was completely blown to pieces, and all we're seeing is just remnants of it. Just stuff scattered everywhere, right? Objects like this here. I find this interesting here because this is pretty cool, the shape of it. Go ahead and draw it out. Goes like this. Looks like it comes down like this here. It appears to actually go through this other mess and go around. But it has a circular piece in the front. Almost does that there. And comes down. Now, what I find interesting is all the little bits here, like this object, right there. Check out, it's blurred, but check out the details, and you can see something actually sticking out of it right here. And the other detail here. See that? And the other pieces you can see lying in here, like this up here on the top. Just the smaller pieces in here, guys. The whitest ones is the ones you really want to see. And that's not always the case, because a lot of times it could be a grayish color. But you can always see the grayish blur over the whiter objects. And that's what we want to keep an eye on. This is what we were talking about over here on this side, too. This is what I was talking about, some kind of mechanical part. Now, this is a completely blurred out piece of trash as far as I'm concerned. But check this out. It has this weird piece looking thing doing this here. I don't know if you guys can see the detail, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit too. Looks like it has a small middle piece right here. Right there. See that? Zoom right in. This piece right here. Make it a little more rounder. Of course, it doesn't look very round, but you guys get the idea. See that? That whole area right there. Okay. Guys, when we see these photos many, many times, we see nothing but looks like ruins. Stuff's been blown to hell. It's just laying on its side, laying down on the ground, and that's what we're seeing. And again, I'm going to zoom into some of this pile for you. I'm sure it's all just swamp gas, as NASA would say. Nothing more to see there, guys. That's it. It's your pareidolia. Even if I zoom out, because it does look quite low res, it looks worse when you zoom in. As I've always said before, this is what it would look like if we kept the photo like this. Now let's zoom in. This is exactly my point. Okay? Now, zoomed in that close, this is what we get to see. This is what they're hoping, that when you try to zoom into this, it's going to break all the hell. You're not going to be able to see anything. And that's the whole idea of it. Put some blur into it. The only thing you're going to be able to do is go like this. Oh, wow, yeah, look at all those rocks from a distance, because they don't want you to see up close. And that's it. You'll just thumb by it, go right by the photo, and that's pretty much it. They don't want you to see anything else in here. That's why we make these photos much larger, so they don't break up as easy. Even if you were to dismiss the rest of this stuff here, and I don't know why you would, but this object looks like it's on some kind of support. Something sticking out of this hilltop. Or is it nothing more than part of something that's buried in this hilltop, right? But you can see that thing. It literally looks like this teardrop-shaped item or anomaly, right? What do you think this stuff is, guys? Like I said, every time I see these photos now, it looks like a junk pile. I mean, that's all you can say. See stuff that's been blown to hell, scattered about, stuff that's intelligently made. Now, there's a reason why they're focusing on these particular areas and taking photos. This is not what they claimed they said they were going to do, which was to look at rocks, sand samples and stuff like that, and keep drilling and stuff like that around the grounds to look for any kind of fossilized life forms, like microbial or anything like that, life forms in the ground. Why are we looking at stuff over here when clearly there's nothing there to see, according to NASA, but yet they have a problem with letting you see what's really here? Look at this. Like you see like a small piece of something like right here. Good example. Right there. Look at that. Look at the shape of it. You can almost see it right here. Goes up like this, goes back around, comes like this, goes back like this, and back down. Okay? Get this part on the other side. Does this. Pretty much the same thing. And has a small piece sticking out. Goes down, goes like this, and comes back down, and appears to do that. Do you guys see that? What it is like I said, is they're not letting you see the whole object. You can see it right here, where you can see the blur spots in this area, and the rest of it is white. Why do you think they would do that? Listen, I could back up, and just take your magnifier and have a look at that area. You can see it's completely void of any kind of real detail. Until you start burning off some of this stuff, then you start to see the real stuff come out. It's almost like you can almost erase this crap over it, which is really weird because the actual detail of the real photo is underneath, and you can bring some of this out. Look at some of the shapes up here. Just over that piece right below it. The weird little pieces sticking out. And the shapes that we see, and it's not just the shapes, as I said. It's got to do with the details on these anomalies that just scream intelligently made. Like I said, like this piece here, or these pieces. I'm going to go ahead and circle these. Like I said, those multiple items laying right in this circle. That, to me, does not look natural. It looks intelligently made. Especially this one right here in the middle of it. As I said earlier. You guys tell me. What are we seeing here? I'm seeing stuff that's been blown to oblivion. That's what it looks like to me. When I look at that, I see a junk pile. I don't see just rocks. I'm not saying I don't see any rocks, because clearly it's on a hill, or close to a hill, or it's supposed to be a hill, and this may not even be a hill at all. This may be something that has been blown to pieces and they're only showing you sides of it or different pieces of it, just enough to look like it's just boulders that had come down off of the side of the hill. When clearly, if that's all this was, again, let's just say this is a butte. And this is at the very end of the butte, and you go, well, clearly, we have buttes here on Earth, and we see that that's what happens. All of this stuff breaks apart over a course of time, and the rocks just come down on the sides. And instead, it looks like a skirting on the very base of these buttes. And I would agree 1,000,000%. I wouldn't even have an argument. Problem is, why the blurring then? Why the manipulation trying to take out details out of this photo? Like I said, I don't even have to zoom in, because you could say, well, it's a poor quality photo. This is the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing. No. I could take this magnifier right here and look at that photo, and I can see, without being zoomed in, there's no detail. It's been completely redacted because of this blurring and this texture that you're putting over parts of these photos. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. What are we seeing here in this photo? Now, guys, they're stopping into stuff for a reason, right? They're not just going over the stuff going, let's just take a random photo. What the hell? We've got nothing to lose, right? No, there's a reason why they're taking these photos. It's got some importance to it. They just going to say, well, it's a butte, so it's just going to take more pictures of rocks. Why? What's the point? That's not their original mission. Their original mission was to look for fossilized or some kind of signs of past life on Mars, right? Okay. Again, these photos are supposed to be raw, untouched, and yet we're not seeing that. You got to question why. Even if you don't believe what we're seeing in these photos. Doesn't matter. Why do they feel an imperative to stop and look at stuff like that and when they're just simple boulders? If it's something like we'd see here on Earth, what's the big deal? In other words, once you've seen one butte here on Earth, you've probably seen them all. In other words, you're going to see like, yeah, there'll be a different shape boulder. Okay, whoopee. That's nothing to get excited about. Why do they feel important to stop and take pictures of these certain areas? And again, I wouldn't care about that if it's nothing more than just a geological thing. They're just checking out. Okay, it's just boulders. Okay, again, this question stands. Why the manipulation? Why the hiding and redacting of information in these photos? There simply is no reason for it. Period. Give me your thoughts on it, guys. Let me know. Drop a comment down below. As always, please like and share. Always appreciated. You guys know that. Stay tuned also. I got another cool Mars one as well as another moon. We're going to try to get to those as soon as we can. And guys, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit the subscribe button and then hit the little bell on the right-hand side of it. So this way you can be notified of any new photos coming up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And I'll see you in the next video.